Love and positivity, roots and culture. This is Roots FC. This is the Football Fans Podcast. And we are here in God's house. What's the name of this church?
Oh God, African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church.
Yes. And you can hear
the inside blue church.
You can hear from all that accent and from all that intro that I have a very special person on the podcast today. Somebody I call one of my OGs, and he's the first African on the Roots FC podcast.
Yes.
Reverend Solomon Odoom. Tell the people first of Roots FC, who is Solomon Odoom?
Man, well, I'm from Ghana in West Africa. Born to parents who didn't go to school but believed in education and also believed in what God can transform somebody to become, and so they pushed me. And then I grew up in a football family in Ghana, whereas my father was a big supporter of one of our local team called Accra Hearts of Oak. And my older brother, was a supporter of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, which, you know,
you gotta say that again.
Kumasi Asante Kotoko. These are still the two big teams in Ghana right now, and they are big rivalries. So I grew up in that environment, and football has always been part of my life. Still being a pastor, I still believe in my football. I don't mess it up at all. Yeah.
Come from a particular tribe in Africa?
Yeah. I'm from the Fancy tribe.
You gotta repeat that.
Fancy, F-A-N-T-S-E, which is a part of two tribes coming together to become one, which is the Akan, A-K-A-N. And so the Akan has two branches, Fancy, of which I am, those of us from the south, and then Twi, TW, who are in the middle part of Ghana. So, yeah.
So you got a native language?
Yes, I got plenty of them.
Plenty?
In Ghana, we got a lot of languages that we speak.
So you could give us a soundbite of one?
Yeah, like...
okay, let me... I could give you something you'll translate.
Yeah.
Say, the book is green.
Buku no ye ebun. Buku, which is the buku, you can pick it up.
Book, yeah.
Yeah, buku no ye ebun. Ebun is green. Ebun green. So the book is green. Buku no ye ebun.
So you see, we get a language lesson.
Yeah, you got it for free.
Being from Ghana and here now in Barbados, obviously being a clergyman, a member of the clergy, that is a job that takes you all over the world.
Yeah.
So where have you lived? As a clergyman, where has your job taken you?
Just in Barbados? Okay, just in Barbados.
No, I want everywhere. From Ghana. Detail your journey from Ghana to Bridgetown.
Okay. I started up as a youth in my little church where I was born and grew up in Ghana, called Agona Bobikuma, in the central region of Ghana, of which from there I went to school, finished, went to Teachers College, and trained as a certified. Then I could teach primary and middle school. Then I went to seminary, and so from seminary I became a teacher pastor. So then I was appointed to a small 6-member church.
Wow.
And but then there was a school, so I was a teacher and taking care of the church. And by the time I left there, that was 1996. That's when 1993, when I was posted to that church. And from there, before I left Ghana in 1999, the church has grown to almost about 300. Right now, I can say that I have the young people that I mentored there and taught there, I have 2 of them being pastors. Almost all of them, my core young people, all of them have become great men and great women that still we stay in contact, and they love me to death, and I love them like the way I used to. From there, I journeyed to United States of America, where I went to do a master's degree, and then I had my daughter there, and I was a pastor there too. I pastored in the United States, a state called Iowa. In a specific place called Charles City, Floyd, and West St. Charles churches.
You chose to go to Iowa?
Yeah, because of my heart.
So how you ended up in Barbados?
Well, Barbados, I went back to do my second master's degree, and I was doing an internship. I was to do an internship to go to England, University of Liverpool. And University of Liverpool, which is...
You would not have enjoyed that.
I wouldn't have enjoyed that. Thank God it didn't go through.
Yeah.
And the university and the government did not agree on my compensation. So the government did not allow me to go. So in that process, then I had some friends here that I contacted, and they let me. I contacted Codrington College, and they accepted me to come in conjunction with University of West Indies. So for 6 months, that was 2008. But before then, I had come to Barbados in 2004 in St. Peter, All Saints Anglican Church, to do a revival there for a friend, a classmate at university in the United States. She was the priest in charge there. So she invited me to come over to do a revival for her. And I spent 10 days here. And I fell in love with the country, and I said, one day I will come here to see again, not knowing that I was coming to live in Barbados. Yeah. So
you've been here ever since?
I've been here since 2008.
8 years? 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
Who would have thought?
I never dreamt. I didn't even know, going to school, I did not know anywhere called Barbados. Only Caribbean I knew was Jamaica, because of Bob Marley.
Most people just know about Jamaica.
Yeah, because of Bob Marley, because I love Bob Marley's song. I love B. Marley. He's inspiration.
Yeah. He's a lot of inspiration for a lot of young men. A lot of young men who have unfortunately come up without a regular father figure in the house. I realize that. And talking to a lot of people, even in a guy from, I think he's from New Zealand. He also has a football blog, and he has a Caribbean football blog. His name is Nathan Carr, and we did some work recently. And at the end of one of his videos, he quoted Bob Marley and what Bob Marley said about football. So it was obvious to me that is how he came into football. So Bob is not just someone who changed the world through his music, but also through his living and his habits, like playing football. And they've led people to football, not just reggae music, but also that football part of his life is very instrumental in a lot of people.
And I would say that Bob, I mean, as a pastor or a minister of religion, I know somebody will say, wait a minute, you are out of your mind. A Christian religion who admires Bob Marley. For me, that is insane.
He's a human being.
He's a human being. And then the good news is that, was he not born in May?
Yeah.
And he and I think we share the same birthday or something.
No, man, I think your birthday is the day he died.
The birthday he died, but yeah, but the thing is that Bob Marley, I don't care what he did, the weed he smoked or whatever, but Bob Marley's music, Bob Marley's life, his legacy has made an impact, not only on me, but a whole lot of people. And I admire him. In fact, I went to Tobago and somebody was selling a towel with Bob Marley in it, and I purchased it, and I still have it. I still have it. It's not on display yet. I'm finding the right place to display it. Oh yes.
So you didn't use it? You ain't like dry your skin in it or nothing?
Oh no! Wait, no! I can't do that, Nick. Come on, can't do that.
Yeah, stupid question.
Yeah, but hey,
another stupid question.
Bring it up.
You like Mobby yet?
Listen to you. Don't talk about no Mobby, you know.
You came here Barbados for 8 years.
No way, Mobby. Now let me tell you why I don't drink.
Tell me why, because I never knew.
You need to know, and everybody need to understand the Mobby case. In Ghana, when as a child, whenever I was sick, my mother or my dad would go and cut the bark of a tree with some leaves, with some roots, boil it, and give it to me to drink. It was.
You didn't know what tree it was?
I knew those trees, some neem tree and other trees you can't find it here. But those things were, that thing was so bitter.
Yeah.
So in order for me not to drink it, it's medication. I will even pretend not to be sick.
Yeah.
So that I avoid it. I come to Barbados. So what I know, that thing is called Dudo. That's the name of it. Dudo. So Dudo to me and to every Ghanaian,
it's terrible.
It's medication.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's only when you drink it when you need to because you're sick. I come to Barbados. Somebody introduced me to this drink called Mobby. Okay, what is it? What is it made up of? A bark of a tree. What do you expect?
So you didn't sample any?
I sampled it twice, and it was so bitter.
Oh my goodness!
That's it.
You drink it from the syrup.
It doesn't matter.
No man, did you use the syrup?
One was the syrup, and
the other
one was the real thing.
Man, if you use the syrup, it won't be that bad.
No, it's Mobby. I ain't sick. I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
So Mobby, as we know it, as this refreshing drink. It doesn't come from Africa then?
The roots came from there. And don't forget the bark of a tree. They get the bark of a tree and make it to a drink. So then in the Caribbean, you guys, in Barbados especially, you guys have transformed it to be a refreshing drink. But actually, it is a medication.
It's medication.
Yeah, it's a drug.
So you basically advertising the medicinal properties of Mobby?
Exactly. For you all, go drink it and be happy and be strong.
All right, man. So, I think from very soon after we met, I realized that you were an avid football fan.
Yes.
And at that, an avid Chelsea fan. You and your son.
Yes.
I think it's only right for for a father to encourage his son to support the same team.
Definitely.
If you are a male, you love football, you follow football, you support one club, and your son decides to go and support another, you have all rights to disown him.
No. No. The only disownment may come from Chelsea.
Right.
Which he did the right thing.
Right, exactly.
To follow his father's footsteps.
Right.
But actually, it's funny. The team that he used to support in Ghana was the opposite side.
Of you.
Of me. And then in America, I used to support, I still support St. Louis Rams, which is now LA Rams. And he supported Minnesota Vikings. And so anytime Rams and Vikings are playing, we just don't get along. No. And then in basketball, what team does he support? Oh, I think he supported the Lakers. And I supported Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. So, but for Chelsea, that is our lifeline.
So how you started supporting Chelsea then?
Well, in Ghana, we because of our roots with the British.
I let you using that word a lot, roots.
Yes, because that is a word that we it's my DNA.
Yeah.
Because that is where roots is the beginning of things.
Yes.
So that is where we get our energy from. Now, what happened is that
you're listening to the Roots FC podcast, brought to you by whoknows.com. Whoknows.com is an online search engine and mobile directory. You can list your businesses on there. All the businesses in Barbados are listed on there. And you can go and check out whoknows.com, who are graciously providing this Roots FC podcast. Yes, Mr. Odoom.
Yeah.
How you get to support Chelsea Football Club?
Chelsea, I didn't know Chelsea until I happened to teach in a school in Ghana where my school went to play another school in just close proximity. And there was a young boy in that team who was so good. His name, Michael Essien.
Yeah.
And I loved that young man. And
so you actually saw him as
him as a young boy playing. So then, after that, he left. But I still followed him.
He went to play in France. I think he went to Lyon.
Yeah, he played in our junior teams, in our junior national teams. And I started following him.
Yeah.
I used to support Leeds United because of one of my football idols in Ghana called Anthony Yeboah, who used to play for Eintracht Frankfurt in Germany.
Yeah.
And then he came to
Leeds
United, and I was with Leeds. So then when he left, I just forgot about
there was no reason to watch Leeds anymore.
Exactly. So then, as I was following Essien, when he moved to England and played for Chelsea, that gave me even the opportunity to just fall in love, because he was a young man I was following along in football circles. So Chelsea became a team, and then it stopped being about Essien, but
about the team.
It's more about the team, its organization, and the energy and the drive, and the team was just exciting to support. So I could not support any team in the world than to support Chelsea.
I totally understand.
Yes.
So what's your greatest memory of Chelsea as a fan? The greatest moment you've ever seen, witnessed as a fan?
Oh man,
I know it's probably a lot.
You know it's coming. I knew it was coming. It was when we won the triple. When we won the EPL.
Yeah.
And then we won the Champions League. I think that year too we won did we win the FA?
The FA Cup, I believe so.
Yeah.
2013, I believe.
Yeah. So we had all the three. That was the moment, especially when Drogba nipped Barcelona, because it was in that we eliminated Barcelona before.
You mean before you won the Champions League?
Before we won.
Torres scored the goal. Yeah.
And then with Bayern Munich, when the final when Drogba scored, that was the highest.
Yeah. I felt that emotion as a United fan watching that, because they went and watched that Champions League final. When Thomas Muller scored, I told all my Chelsea fan friends, man,
forget it.
There's it here for one of here.
Yeah.
But then Drogba came and he scored, and it was like, geez, he might not be out here.
Yeah.
Robin had the penalty, and Robin missed. Drogba gave it the penalty.
Yeah.
Then Robin stepped up against his old club and missed, and it was like, my goodness. Went to penalties, man. You ain't gonna beat the Germans on penalties.
Oh.
Not in Germany. Come on.
No.
Bastian Schweinsteiger stepping up.
Yes.
You would not expect Schweinsteiger at that time to miss a penalty.
To miss a penalty. No.
Schweinsteiger step up, missed the penalty. And I was like, Chelsea boy, this might be your year. And it was Drogba. Fittingly. He's another African.
He's from Ivory Coast, our neighbor. He's a neighbor to Ghana. And apart from Essien, actually right now, it's not. I still follow Essien, but he is not having. It's funny. Any team that Essien has gone to after Chelsea, I haven't followed those teams. I've always stayed with Chelsea, because I know that is where his heart is. And then Drogba. Right now, Drogba is my number one. Drogba is my number one. You cannot imagine. I mean, I know Drogba says that he's getting there, retiring, but I can tell you that whenever Drogba steps on the turf and his leg get on the ball, something will come out of it. It doesn't matter how old he becomes. And I believe in him.
And you know, he's one of the most important players in Chelsea history recently, because in majority, if not all of those cup finals, Drogba has scored the winning goal, or at least scored.
Yep.
And I can think back to 2007 FA Cup final against United.
Yep.
The same Champions League final. Countless Capital One Cup. They're like Capital One Cup. No, the League Cup.
The League Cup, whatever.
The FA Cup.
That is him.
Drogba. And when you won the Premier League, it was Drogba's
It was
goals.
Drogba. It was Drogba.
So if we get into a quick debate here now, because Lampard just recently retired, and we were telling somebody that Lampard is probably the best English midfielder and probably one of the most important players. But as a Chelsea fan, who you rank higher, Drogba or Lampard?
Drogba.
You ain't even think about that.
No. I don't need to think about it. It's not because Drogba is an African or Ivorian or a West African. Not on. Drogba is quality in himself.
Not Lampard?
No, Lampard is quality. I don't dispute that. But let me tell you something. When Lampard steps on the field, Lampard doesn't have charisma. That is the word.
Well, not on the level of Drogba.
Yeah, Drogba is charismatic. Where Drogba draws people.
Yes.
I mean, Lampard doesn't attract defenders. But when Drogba is on the field, all eyes are on him, and for that matter, it gives room for other players to operate.
Yeah, true.
At the same time, he will make sure his name is recorded on the sheet. It doesn't matter. So you cannot compare Drogba to Drogba is in his own field. Lampard, fine. He's good. But comparison is Drogba.
Be very Drogba.
Oh yes.
So Drogba, remember his last season was the title winning season. And title winning season, you won it, good.
Yeah, we did.
The season after that now,
oh please,
was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
A little bit might be an understatement.
It was disappointing.
Last season was disappointing.
Yes.
As a Chelsea fan, what are your reasons for that collapse, that calamity?
Well,
before you start, spare a thought for Leicester City, who are going through a similar fate, but a little worse off because Leicester City now battling relegation.
Yep.
And some tough fixtures to come. And it really looks like they can be relegated here.
It's really gloomy.
So let's just spare a thought for them, and
we
have them in our prayers.
My heart is with them.
But
I pray for them.
I don't know their problem this season, but
their problem was N'Golo Kante.
Of course,
that was him.
I'm glad you said that. So let me go back now. What is the reason for Chelsea's poor form last season?
It was management, the management level and the players.
Yes.
I will not blame it on Mourinho. Not at all. People
but he's obviously managing this. It's not his scapegoat.
But I'm talking about the directors and all that.
Yeah.
You see, the directors made some of the players like they are babies, untouchables. And they set them up against the manager of the team.
Yeah.
And when you have your players not excited to play for you, look at the time when he came to coach Drogba, what was his name, Lampard, Terry, and all them. They were big guys too.
Yeah.
But they believed in him. They believed in Mourinho.
Right.
And so it made his work really easy.
Exactly.
These boys then did not believe in him as of then, because he came in, he had gone from there to Madrid. No, is it
Inter
at
first,
and then
to
Madrid, and then came back. So you expect that he might gain different experience, different expertise, that
grow as a manager,
and grown as a manager. So for me, it was a plus.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the way the players saw him and revolted against him,
Yeah.
made our season go. I mean, I could see my man gasping for breath.
Yeah.
And because of that, they brought the worst out of him.
Yeah.
You see, because the players did not believe in him, and he trying to reinforce his authority and his expertise on them, made things worse. So it brought the worst out of Mourinho.
And players too.
And then
yeah, it was a real calamitous situation.
Because they are the recipients of whatever, and then they go to the field and they broke our hearts. Thank God we did not go on relegation.
So in the aftermath of all of that,
yes,
because you didn't get relegated, still in the Premier League. So Chelsea has some new signings in the summer. New manager.
Yes.
Italian, Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
What do you think of the manager?
Man, that he is. Let me tell you something. Tactically, I prefer Mourinho.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I think that's something that one of the players said that Mourinho is a little more strict tactically.
yes, tactically Mourinho. But then motivationally,
Yes.
he, I see myself in Conte.
Really?
I see myself in him. Sometimes I'm that person who sometimes want to break the rules and win and make sure something good is coming up. I don't care. Sometimes I care. No, don't get me wrong. I am a believer in order and decorum and everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes if the need comes and hard pressed, sometimes you got to push aside the rules and go with your heart to get the results. And then after that, you come back and apologize. If they accept your apology, fine. If they don't,
and that's what he did after the Arsenal defeat.
Yep.
When he went to 3 at the back. Because I think that 3 at the back is the formation that he knows the best. He's studied the best. He's worked with the most. So this is the one he knows best how to instruct the players how to play.
Yeah.
And you can see with the fantastic results you've had, 13 games winning in a row.
Yeah.
But that's down to the new signings, down to the new formation. Because I was saying on Football Fiesta as well that it makes no sense after the defeat. I think it was against Liverpool defeat, not the Arsenal defeat.
Yeah, the Liverpool.
I said on Football Fiesta that Antonio Conte is whipping the dead horse by playing the same formation that got Jose Mourinho sacked. If you come into a club, and I say this on every podcast, every radio show, if you come into a club replacing a manager who's been sacked, not he's retired, he's left, he's been sacked. He's been fired for not doing a good enough job. And you play the same formation, same players in the same system. How do you expect to be successful?
In fact, when he first came in within, I think our preseason games,
he was doing
the same thing. I'm like, oh God.
And the results were okay.
Horrible. It wasn't the best.
Right.
I'm like, man, this man ain't gonna last if he doesn't change.
A lot of people thought he was gonna get sacked too.
I was looking for it because it's like, man, and I'm like, Lord help my coach.
But after the Arsenal defeat, he probably told himself, you know what? Let me just do what I want to do.
Exactly.
Players gotta get dropped. Because I was just speaking to a Chelsea fan in my neighborhood, and he was saying, man, sometimes as a manager, you trust players, but sometimes that trust is not enough.
Yes.
You gotta drop them down to the bench. And you gotta let everybody feel the bench to see how the bench feels.
And then when you come back, you give your best.
It will take a little while, but that's exactly
and that is what charismatic leaders do.
Yeah.
Charismatic leaders are not afraid of defeat. You see, a charismatic leader is someone winning. Yeah. And for that matter, victory is the goal. So whatever it takes, if you feel like you are what, and you are going to mess up the road to that victory, you come down.
Yeah.
And we bring somebody. To me, that is what has made my team unbeatable this year.
What I also think has made your team unbeatable is the same little guy you mentioned earlier.
N'Golo Conte. That boy, man, let me tell
I
you.
heard it saying that they're gonna nominate him for PFA Player of the Year.
Yes, and he will get it. Let me tell you something about that young man.
But you know, before you say that, when you look at the contrasting seasons between, look at Leicester last season, look at you this season.
Yes.
Look at Leicester this season and you last season.
Yes.
Look at Leicester without Kante.
Yep.
Weak, flat. And look at you without Kante last season.
Yeah.
So, does he really make that much of it? One man?
Yes, he does. It's not one man, but you know. Okay. I will bring back to charismatic leadership. Charismatic leadership always look out for the star.
Yeah.
And groom and push the star. You get your star, and then you give him the room to operate, to bring the best out of them. You see, like Kante being our star now, he as a person in the team, he's the most humble young man ever in our team.
Right.
You hardly hear him after the game. You hardly hear him go to the press or nothing. And I even read that the car he drives.
Yeah, the car.
What is it? Mini one.
Yeah, mini. A mini.
That fits his personality.
Yeah.
And he brings his mini one and park it and go do his thing. He finish, he go back home, eat his food, hang out with his friends.
I love humility like that, you know.
To me, that is it. And if you have somebody like that, he draws people. And the manager had to look and see that is the man. Yeah, Hazard is there, but actually Chelsea is our pivot, our strength is on Kante.
Midfield.
Oh yes, he holds in the. He reminds me of my man Essien.
Yeah,
he always.
I think Essien was a little more athletic, sprinting, but Kante is just nip around and tackle and play the pass. And then he doesn't really do that much running.
No, but you will see him come in, get the ball from you, pass it, and then go and wait for another opportunity.
Exactly, very simple, very tidy. Yeah.
Unlike Essien, it's like if you take the ball away from me, be ready.
And Essien was also a goal threat from distance and from free kicks. So I think Essien had a little more in his arsenal than Kante, but still very effective.
Kante, I love.
And Kante doesn't need to be that rambunctious because he has the trio in front.
Yes.
And he also has Matic
to cover. Support.
Moses on the right.
Moses on the right.
Who's talking about Moses? Another African.
Another
Nigerian. Yeah.
Well, you know. That is what I will always refer back. Moses in Mourinho's time, Moses was nothing.
Yeah.
Moses was just one of the players that he would come
on loan.
But you see, the coach identified his abilities and capabilities that fit into his plan, and so encouraged him. And then he, seeing that now Chelsea is a competitive place to play, so I got to pull my weight.
Yeah, and he won't be in the team every week.
Yes, and he did. And now look at him. I mean, I've fallen in love with him. He has been. I'm not a fan of Nigerian players because of the rivalry between Ghana and Nigeria. I know you will ask me about
John Obi
Mikel. Obi Mikel,
fantastic servant.
Is my worst Chelsea player ever. You ask my son, he will tell you that whenever you ask all my friends, said whenever I see Obi Mikel, I say, oh God, what is Obi Mikel doing on that? But because of it's not of anything, it's just a healthy thing between Ghana. Yes. So, but Moses has really endeared my heart, and I really love him. To see him on there messing up the defense and drawing them to him, and then giving us the clearance. It's such beauty.
So this season, currently, you got a healthy lead on top. widely expected that y'all will win the Premier League this season.
We better. We're going to.
You're saying we better, but
we
so
going
you
to.
think you are going to?
We're going to. There's no two ways about it. Look, it's not only on the field. We're praying also.
Because remember when I told you, I saw you on Sunday, I told you it's going to be 12 points if
Burnley?
No.
If
you beat Burnley, it would have been 12 points.
It would have been 12.
But it was 10, and then City won, so it's 8. As we're speaking now, it's 8.
Okay.
So, what is going to be needed now? What else is going to be needed?
I think right now we need more wins. We need about probably 4 straight wins.
Because you got 13 games left.
We got 13 games, and I know that if we win 6 of them, that's it. Because
you're not gonna lose that many.
We ain't going to lose 6 games, no, or draw 6 games, no. Yeah. We will win at least 8 more games.
Yeah, to the next
13. Yep, and that will set us up for the win, because the big teams behind us have not been pulling their weight.
But it's choked up now. You're a little ways ahead, and there's I think
Man
4 points separating those.
Man U, Liverpool,
Arsenal,
and City.
Yeah.
City this time is you can't
and
even
Spurs.
know. And Spurs is a dangerous, rival, but still, they all have some weaknesses that the lesser teams and even the big teams exploit and beat them, each of them. But then you see, one thing about my team is that we have solidified ourselves, both defense, midfield. Our forward is kind of struggling a little bit because of Costa. You know, the issue with Costa. But if that is well resolved, we will be okay. But our defense and
I think he's saying a new contract. I got a notification.
I haven't checked.
I got a notification there saying he got a new contract.
But you know these players, they can sign whatever.
Yeah, and still
go anyway.
A reason I was saying to a lot of people at the beginning of the season, you and Liverpool I would expect to be at the top of the table, because none of you have to play any Champions League football or any European football for that matter. So do you think that's helped you this season?
Of course it has.
Because Liverpool's still trying, but Liverpool, I feel, should be right up there with you, but they're not.
Liverpool,
so we can't say no Champions League has helped them or hindered them.
For us, it has helped us because it has kept the stress level on just one area. That's EPL. Unlike the other teams, they got to look at the Champions League, Europa League,
consider traveling,
and then traveling, coming in, and the fatigue and all that. But for us, I think it has helped us. But also, what I see is that our team has developed in such a way that even our B team. So I'm even looking forward to next year. Even next year, going to Champions League and other championships, it's not going to be that much a trouble. So
next season when you're gonna be playing Champions League,
of course,
you'll be playing 4 competitions next season. This season only starting 3.
Okay.
But you're playing 4 next season. So I realized that with teams going from no Champions League to Champions League, you have to do something about the depth of the squad. I think that's a problem that Spurs had this season. They didn't really add to the depth, to the real proper depth, and have players who can replace the ones on the pitch. Because if you're replacing Eric Lamela with Moussa Sissoko, it's not really the same balance. Isn't really there, you know. And Moussa Sissoko is a little older to a different type of player. So I think that was Spurs' problem. Also, Leicester's problem, switching from no Champions League to Champions League. I think that they added in the wrong era. I think they added too many forwards, not enough midfielders, not enough defenders. So they strengthened the side very lopsidedly, right? So for Chelsea next season, what advice, if you could call Antonio Conte on the phone, offer him some advice as a fan, what advice would you give him?
I'll tell him that fortify the defense and the midfield. You know, have backups, good backups. Yes, we still have them, but fortify them. Maybe sign up 1 or 2, and then add one good goalkeeper because Courtois, I'm not sure whether he's going to stay.
He flirted with Madrid. And,
so we got to get that one, and then the defense and the midfield, and then get another top, probably 2 strikers. Add 2 more strikers. Because and then we have some younger ones who have been loaned away.
Yeah,
that you got to bring them in.
30 players on one man.
Yeah, you got to bring them in and pull some because we don't have to even sign anybody.
Yeah.
We got to look at our pool and see a boy like being biased, Christian Achu, who played the African Cup of Nations and came up to be one of the best players of the tournament. He played on the left out. Left wing. He will kind of be a good backup for Moses, even though we still have other players. So I would say strengthen the forwards, the front, the midfield. The midfield, I think we have enough.
Yeah,
that can contain all the tournaments. You can change them and the team style will not
essentially you're playing with 2 central midfielders.
Yeah,
and you still got players like
Fabregas is still there. And so so we good. All that I got to say is maintain the rapport that exists between him and the players and keep diverse, because what Burnley did I did not like. So he got to look into.
Putting all the players. But remember, I heard a stat before the game that out of Burnley's 28 points, they got 27 at home. So these are guys who were playing the best football at home, and that was a top free kick by Robbie Brady.
Oh yes,
fantastic free kick. And you cannot imagine that Burnley are going to be playing against the league leaders at home and allow you all space on the pitch. They're going to put every single body back in the box. You got to try to break down them.
They were funny. They were so funny.
To break down them.
They were so funny.
It's to stop playing football.
Yeah, to me, that is stupid.
But that's something that Chelsea have to be aware of when you go to teams. If you
we got to diversify.
You go to a team like West Brom, like Stoke. They score first is going to be very difficult because teams know that you are counter-attacking, strong at the back. So if they get through,
they just come and line up.
Everybody at the back.
They line up is like, come wherever. We can't get you.
So if you get early goal against Chelsea, these teams, or you get equalizer, these teams are going to sit back and try to hit you all.
I know Conte will have an antidote for them. He has learned from what Burnley did, and it's going to be different Saturday.
But for sure, you're winning the league this season, twice in 3 years. So you're going from first to 10th to first.
I tell you, and we go in first.
Okay.
I got my sight on 5 years. 5 years. As far as Conte is going to be our coach, going to win the league, and next year I'm even shooting for the Champions League too.
I like him though, as a fan of football and as somebody who's a fan of English football. I like Antonio Conte.
He's cool.
I like his passion. I just everything about him I like as a United fan. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah.
But I think that for him, his first season in English football, winning the league is a massive accomplishment.
It's beautiful.
But the higher up you are,
he's going
easier
to get
it is to come down.
Yes.
And his fellow countryman Claudio Ranieri is experiencing that right now with Leicester City.
Oh
when
yeah.
When you're at the top, it's very easy to slide all the way back
You see, that man at Leicester, he forgot himself.
Think so?
I think so. He forgot himself that he is in English Premier League. That if you win, you got to maintain it and to work harder to maintain and revamp your team.
Yeah.
He took advantage of it that Conte, he gone. You got somebody. Everything will be fine.
Underestimated his role. For sure.
That is what has killed him.
But one thing that helped you all in the backslide, so to speak, is that you had players of higher quality, greater quality. You still had Diego Costa, Hazard, Pedro, Willian, great players. Fabregas, great players,
Courtois.
But if you look at Leicester now, the gulf in class is a little bit more vast. Instead of having Fabregas, you got Danny Drinkwater. Instead of having Diego Costa, you got Jamie Vardy.
It's
Instead of
money.
having Hazard, you have Riyad Mahrez. All players who are form are probably some of the worst players.
It's
But
money.
on form are some of the best. And so the motivation wasn't there. So
Yep.
yeah, you got spare thought.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. Got spare thought.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed myself here.
man.
You're gonna give me the name of the church again.
Holgard African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church.
Yes, I've enjoyed my time
At
here with
Jackson.
you. In Jackson. I
St.
gotta
Michael.
come down here, man.
You better.
It's a real shame that I haven't
It's a
been.
long time, son.
I haven't been.
Yes.
But this is Ruticle 17, and hopefully this year it will come through.
Yeah.
So if we may close off the podcast with a bit of a word of prayer.
Yeah, definitely. Dear Lord, I just thank you for a beautiful time where we can sit, relax, and talk about the things that de-stress us from the cares and worries of life. Lord, we thank you for making the provision for Nicholas to be around here. It's a good time reconnecting, and I just enjoyed him while I was with him as his pastor, and I still enjoy him as his father figure and a son for me. Lord, I pray that the doors that you have opened for him, nothing will stop him from going through. He will go through and become a great man as you have started with him. Lord, I also pray that our country will see the importance of developing football to the highest level. Lord, I pray for our various teams, Manchester United and above all Chelsea, that this year continue to be our year in the years to come. Lord, I pray that all our young people striving to achieve some goals bring into their lives charismatic leaders who will explore their potentials and lead them high into their highest levels of life. We are so grateful that you granted us this opportunity to meet and to spend time together. Bless us and bless Barbados, Lord, and bless football and bless Chelsea. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And thank you for listening to Roots FC. Remember to subscribe to Roots FC One Love Roots on YouTube and SoundCloud. And thank you again to whoknows.com, the online directory and mobile search engine, for probably sponsoring the episode. I think they will sponsor the rest of the year as well. So big up to Who Knows, big up to Chelsea.
Yes.
Big up to Reverend Solomon Odoom.
Hey.
And we must do this again because the African Cup of Nations just concluded.
Yes.
So we gotta come and we talk about that.
Sure.
But we gonna do that a little bit later.
Down the
A little
road.
later.
After I've won my title.
Yeah, after you're in the Premier League, you can come back on celebration episode and we can talk about
That would
everything.
be cool.
We can
Yes.
talk about everything. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, son.